The anomie and strain theories are, along with learning theories and control theories, the three main groups of theories that form the foundation of criminology. While the foundations of the theory was laid by Robert Merton in 1938, the theory has been revised and advanced over the years by the revisions by Cohen, Rosenfeld and Messner, and Robert Agnew. We will examine these theories in this chapter. The anomie and strain theory is based on the 1938 work of Robert Merton titled Social Structure and Anomie. In contrast with the prevalent theories explaining crime on the basis of individual biological traits, Merton sought to explain crime in society on the basis of social and cultural factors. Merton posited that conditions fundamental to the American society were at the core of the American crime problem. Unlike the Chicago School's explanation of crime based on social disorganization, Merton explained occurrence of crime on the basis of the structural and cultural factors in the American dream, which is a broader message to all citizens that they must strive for social ascent manifested through economic well-being and wealth. Merton's anomie and strain theory was used to explain crime in the United States by many scholars, including Albert Cohen's 1955 explanation of the development of the culture of gangs among delinquent boys, Clovert and Orleans' three distinct criminal, conflict, and retreatist subcultures, Messner and Rosenfeld's institutional anomie theory, and Agnew's general strain theory. Each of these theories will be examined in this chapter. While the Chicago School traced the roots of crime to certain areas of the city, Merton outlined a different social process related to the conventional cultural values which produced higher crime rates. Merton argued that the American society and culture placed an extraordinary emphasis on economic success. People are encouraged to pursue the American dream. Pursuit of success has unanticipated consequences. The consequence of promoting deviant behavior. This occurs because there are social structural barriers to pursuing success in society through legitimate means, which includes college education, employment, family connections, etc. Members of the lower class are burdened in the race for achieving the prescribed success. The strong emphasis on success and the barriers of limited legitimate opportunities due to the social structure causes strain. This results in pressures for deviation from the norms of society. This drives individuals to pursue success by all means, including crime, which results in the breakdown of social norms and creates a state of normlessness or anomie. There is therefore two parts in Merton's theory. One, the genesis of social strain in society, which has been addressed by theories such as Robert Agnew's general strain theory, and secondly, the creation of anomie in society, which has been addressed by Messner and Rosenfeld's institutional anomie theory. As already stated, Merton's theory challenged the existing theories explaining causation of crime on the basis of individual biological traits and the idea of rational utilitarian calculus, as stated by Beccaria and Bentham. He proposed a theory different from Chicago School's social disorganization theory. Merton argued that certain aspects of social and cultural structure resulted in individuals committing crime. In the United States, the most prominent culturally defined goal is to achieve monetary success. Getting rich is an integral part of the American dream and the method to attain status in society. While there are culturally defined goals, the society also regulates the modes of achieving these goals. There are legal and moral regulations that govern the acceptable methods. At times, society may witness a disproportionate stress on achieving these goals in comparison to the stress on modes of attaining them. The two factors of the goals operate jointly or in tandem. A successful person is one who achieves the prescribed goals by using the legally and morally acceptable methods. However, in the United States, there is an overemphasis for attaining cultural goals in comparison to the importance given to the acceptable method for attaining them. There are also social structural factors that block the avenues to attain the goals, such as being born in the lower class, lack of access to higher education, absence of family support, etc. The differential emphasis causes strain in the individual, and they address these strains by using different coping mechanisms. This may result in crimes and normlessness and anomie in society. There are two parts to Merton's theory. Firstly, the strain theory, which posits that the prescribed goals of the US society is monetary success. As individuals from the underprivileged sections of society are prevented from achieving the prescribed goals due to impediments posed by society, they experience strain. In response to the strain, individuals have adaptive behavior. Merton identified 5 different possible responses of individuals to address the strain. We will be examining each of these adaptive behaviors. Because Merton detailed the social structure of strain, scholars have referred to the theory as strain theory. However, we can see that Merton's article was titled Social Strain and Anomie. Merton borrowed the concept of normlessness or anomie from Durkheim. He argued that in societies that place a greater emphasis on economic success, there is a possibility of anomie setting in. When this occurs, the pursuit of success is not guided by what is wrong, right or wrong, but by the most efficient method to achieve the culturally defined success. This results in breakdown of norms. Merton argued that the innovative conduct by individuals become prevalent when people have reduced commitment to institutionalized means and follow illegitimate methods. Anomie and deviance are mutually reinforcing. The weakening of the norms allows some people to pursue illegal methods. But gradually such behavior is observed by others and there is an expansion of anomie in the system and deviance becomes more pervasive. Disjunction between the prescribed goals of society and acceptable means of achieving them. With greater stress on achieving the prescribed goals, there's an increased strain among individuals. Merton theorized that a person could alleviate the strain either by accepting or withdrawing from the cultural goals and or the institutional means. Merton developed a classical typology in which he proposed 5 different modes of adaptation to resolve the strain generated to attain success. He stated that people could either accept the cultural goals and means or reject them. They could also reject and substitute the goals and means. On the basis of the 5 different combinations of the response, Merton proposed 5 different modes of adaptations. Of these, one is confirmatory behavior and the other 4 are modes of adaptation. Confirmatory behavior occurs when you accept cultural goals as well as the institutionalized means. The most common response of people to the impediments to achieving culturally defined goals is not to deviate, but to conform to the culturally defined success goals and to pursue the conventionally defined means to achieve success. It is because the modal or most common response of most people is to conform that there is stability and continuity in society. It is therefore natural that society at large and the authorities would like to have more people in this category. But for most people, the strain of the disjunction between the culturally defined goals and institutionalized means results in a response of changing their cultural goals and or withdrawing their allegiance to the institutionalized means. Merton identified four such deviant modes of adaptation. One of the forms of adaptation is where the person accepts the culturally prescribed goals but rejects the accepted institutionalized means. Merton terms this form of adaptation as innovation. In this form of adaptation, the person accepts the cultural goals and is interested in being successful by achieving financial goals. However, he rejects the conventional institutionalized means of following the legal and moral codes, getting educated, and doing conventional work. This form of behavior is largely seen among the lower sections of society where there is an absence of a realistic chance of advancement. But there is high vulnerability to the allure of high income from deviant activities. Another form of adaptation is ritualism. Ritualism is adapted by those people who maintain outward conformity to the norms governing institutionalized means. They mitigate their strain by severely scaling down their aspirations to a point where they can be easily achieved. They are content to avoid risks and live within a routine, not take challenges of achieving the prescribed goals. Retreatism is a more dramatic response. Due to the social strain, they relinquish allegiance to both the cultural goals and the prescribed norms of achieving them. This arises from the continuous failure to achieve the prescribed goals through legitimate means and an inability to adapt illegitimate means due to reasons including internalized values prohibiting illegitimate acts. A defeatist mindset and resignation sets in, which leads the individual to escape from society. Such people live in the fringes of society as alcoholics, vagrants, homeless, and hermits. People who adapt rebellion are those who not only reject the existing system but also wish to replace it with a new one. There is an effort to introduce a new social order. In the US, examples of such people are those who have extreme left-wing ideology and those who argue for group success and distribution of wealth equally and according to needs, rather than individual success according to talent and hard work. Examples of such organization could be whether underground or the Symbionese Liberation Army. To sum up the theory, Merton borrowed the concept of normlessness or anomie from Durkheim. He posited that in societies where there's an intense stress on achieving economic success, there is a possibility of weakening of the institutional norms and anomie setting in. When institutional norms become weak, then actions of the people are not guided by what is right or wrong, but what is the best method to achieve economic success. This would result in people using innovative and illegal methods to achieve financial gains. This results in criminal activities like protection rackets, forgery and fraud, drug trade, and such crimes. The increase of crime results in further weakening of the norms, and weakening of the norms lead to further increase in crime. Therefore, anomie and deviance are mutually reinforcing and result in a spiral of normlessness and criminality. In the context of America, it is seen that there is an excessive emphasis on economic success in the pursuit of the American dream. The emphasis arises from the individualistic and capitalistic spirit, which encourages ambition and creation of wealth. However, this is compounded by the social structural factors that block the access of people, especially those from the disadvantaged section, to the goals. These factors would include absence of role models in the community, poor facilities to engage the young in productive and wholesome activities in the spare time, lack of access to higher education which results in a lack of level playing field, and inability of some to achieve the cultural goals. This causes strain and drives people to engage in innovative behavior and criminal activities to achieve the culturally defined conventional success.